welcome back to the Balance Wand podcast, Soul on Fire. Today we have such an incredible guest, I think we figured out, 4th or 5th time returning Kelsey Patel, my Reiki master, my dear friend, my retreat co-host, and so many other things. Kelsey is one of those people who I can come to at any time of day, any day of the week, no matter how amazing or awful or sick or excited or whatever I'm feeling, no matter how I am, Kelsey's there for me. She's there to celebrate exciting milestones with me. She's there to do Reiki on me when I'm in my hospital gown, really out of it post fibroid surgery. She's such a great teacher. I did Reiki 1 with her and plan to do Reiki 2 and continue on with her when the time is right. We hosted such a fun retreat together in Palm Springs last year that many of you were in attendance at, and such a special group that we'll remember forever. And as I heal, we'll plan more retreats and more fun together. So Kelsey is someone who I look up to so much. I have told her this before, but Kelsey is literally sunshine in human form. And when I think of people who inspire me, who I would love to be so much like them, I think of Kelsey. When I was on a panel at Create and Cultivate earlier this year, I think it was last summer. At this point, they asked us to go around all the panelists and name who inspires us and why. A woman that inspires us and why. And every single other panelist said their mom. And I wanted to be different, although my mom, Jane Younger, Dirty Martinis and Skinny Jeans, is such an inspiration to me and my best friend and so much more. I didn't want to say what all of the other women on the panel were saying. I wanted to give some diversity to the panel and the group and say something different that people might take away something different from. So I shared that Kelsey Patel inspires me like no other. And the reason that I shared that on that day in particular, not only because she inspires me every day of the year, but she had just called me and offered me just the kindest, most loving words I could ever possibly imagine when I was really suffering, so sick. Really felt like I had dropped off the face of the earth, wasn't really talking to many people, was feeling really overwhelmed and still working myself into the ground. And Kelsey called me, not just texted me, she called me to offer me such loving words and support, and basically said she would do anything for me to feel supported and feel loved. And it meant so much, and I'll never forget it. And I just love her. And she started her own podcast, the Magik Vibes podcast, that everyone needs to listen to. So that was kind of the reason we had her back on today, but we don't really need a reason to have Kelsey Patel on the podcast. She provides the value every single time, no matter if we have a topic or not or what. And today, we just kind of chatted and riffed, and she shared her wisdom. I always say that sitting down with Kelsey is like sitting down to the church of Kelsey Patel, because she just spews the wisdom like no other, barely even prompted by my questions. It just pours out of her. She's connected to a consciousness and a wisdom that is so high vibrational and so real and so loving, and we all can benefit by hearing her words and connecting to her and letting them soak in, and honestly listening again and again and again, because you never know how these words will affect you on a deeper level on any given day. And that's what I love about recordings of podcasts, is that they're timeless. You can listen to them anytime. And Kelsey was so kind enough to do a little Reiki healing in this episode, and you'll see she asks you guys to join in and send the love, because I shared that I was really suffering am really suffering, I should say. And I cried, and Kelsey cried, and I shared some words here that I've never shared anywhere else ever. And who knows if I ever will again. I probably will, knowing me. I share a lot. But she asked just the exact question to pull an answer out of me that I feel really needed to be shared. And the Reiki healing was for me, but it was for all of us. And she very clearly states that in the episode that you can go back to this Reiki healing on recording anytime to get the Reiki love from her. And on her podcast, she does distance Reiki every single week, every episode. So you must listen. Kelsey's podcast, Magik Vibes, you can find it. She's just the best of the best. I love her. I want her to come on a million more times, and she will. I just feel it. So I feel like I was going to say something else about Kelsey. I could go on and on and on about Kelsey. Well, I'm not sure, but I do know that I'm so happy to be on the Waking Back Up to Your Own Soul journey with our journeyers, the amazing humans who've chosen to go on this journey with me. My course, Waking Back Up to Your Soul. The signups are closed now, but we'll open it back up in the future. So I highly recommend, if you're interested and you're saving money or it just didn't work for you this time around, signing up for my newsletter. We'll put the link in the show notes. I'm working on something very special for my newsletter signups. It's going to be a free meditation that gives you kind of a taste of what you'll get in the course and what you'll get in something that I'm working toward, which is creating my own meditations, like a subscription kind of thing, or maybe an app. I'm figuring it out. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, link in the show notes, or just like on my website, you can find it pretty easily. Then you'll be the first to know when the course launches again. We have such a special group in the course. We did our first live webinar last week. I was crying, I was channeling, it was amazing. Everyone was so tapped in. All of our angels and guides were surrounding us. The energy was so powerful and it was just special. So I do want to remind you that if this podcast brings you value and you enjoy listening to it, I would be so honored to have you leave a rating and review in iTunes and send me a screenshot to jordan@thebalancedblonde.com of your rating and review and your subscription to the podcast. And to thank you, I will send you my Soul on Fire yoga ebook for free. That is basically 300 pages of yoga flows, yoga poses for beginners, intermediate, whatever you find yourself to be. There's lots of yoga, juicy goodness in that ebook. So send me the screenshot of your rating and review and subscription to this podcast, and I will send you that free gift as a thank you from me. If you haven't noticed the theme, I like to give you guys a lot of free gifts because I'm so grateful to have you here. My soul is so grateful to be podcasting and blogging for a living. I pinch myself. It doesn't feel real. I'm seeing 33 everywhere right now. If you're listening and you see 33 or 333 or anything right now, angel numbers, chills are happening. So cool. I've just seen 33 like, oh my God, I'm seeing it again so many times since I started recording this intro. So I love to send you guys free gifts, whether it be rating and reviewing the podcast, signing up for my newsletter, and soon to be receiving a free meditation. All the good things. And before we dive into this episode with Kelsey, I wanted to remind you about some of the incredible sponsors on this show. So since today is July 31st, and somehow in my whole spreadsheet, getting ready for all my sponsorships for the month and the year and whatever, I didn't even mark any sponsors down for today, probably because I forgot that July has 31 days in it. So kind of awesome that we don't have any official sponsors for today's episode. So I wanted to take this chance to just give some love to some of our longtime sponsors and tell you about the discount codes that I have. I'm only going to talk for like a minute, don't worry, and then we'll get into the episode with Kelsey. So our longtime amazing sponsors, some of them at least on this show, are Four Sigmatic, Thrive Market, Hum Nutrition, Silver Fern, Probiotics, Ritual, Essential Vitamins, and soon to be, but already, because I already have a code, the amazing Cured Nutrition CBD. So I just wanted to tell you the discount code so you have them all on hand. The discount code for Four Sigmatic is BLONDE, BLONDE, and that will get you 15% off of all the best mushroom coffees, matchas, lattes, skincare, etc. Four Sigmatic is my life. I love them. You can listen to episode 85 with Taro, the founder of Four Sigmatic. So obsessed. The discount code for Thrive Market is thrivemarket.com/blonde to online shop for all of your favorite groceries and pantry items. That's a link, thrivemarket.com/blonde, which will get you, I believe, $25 off of your first order and free shipping. Our discount code for Cured Nutrition CBD, so amazing, is BLONDE, BLONDE. Amazing CBD. I'm so obsessed with it. I met the founder not too long ago and really hit it off with him and his beautiful girlfriend. I'm going to go on their podcast soon. They're just really good people, and CBD is amazing. CBD has changed my life. There's Silver Fern brand. You can use the code BLONDE for all of the best probiotics, plant-based protein powders, and digestive enzymes. And you can listen to episode 106 with their former chief nutritionist and CEO, Charity. She's such a special light being soul. And then Hum Nutrition for the best beauty supplements on the market. I take so many of their things, liver cleansing supplements, etc. You can use the code SOUL, SOUL, for 20% off on Hum Nutrition. I also wanted to say Ritual Essential Vitamin for Women, code TBB for 10% off. So I wanted to give love to some of those sponsors because they've been supporting the show or my Instagram and blog, whatever it may be, for a really long time. And other than you guys, they're the other thing that keeps this podcast and this brand running. And I'm so grateful. So with that, I want to head into this episode with Kelsey. So grateful to have her back on. Let's dive in. Oh my goodness, Kelsey. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh, me too. I missed you.
We could literally talk, and we do for hours
we just
before
did.
we even record. We did. We soul gazed. I saw the truest essence of you. I could cry as if I didn't already know that your aura is the brightest, lightest, most universal, purest form of love ever. I literally got to see it, and it is so beautiful, and it's such an honor to have you here for round whatever it is.
15? No, I don't know. Yeah.
So many special episodes with you. So for those who do or do not know you, say hello. Tell us what you've been up to lately.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Patel. I'm so excited to be back with you, my love, and all of the incredible listeners you have. I've actually gotten to meet many of them over the years at events and at our retreat and other things. And so I am currently working on, I can't actually believe I'm announcing it here. I haven't told anybody.
Oh my God. This is
very exciting. I literally just came through like, it's time to share it. Yes. And coming out of the closet.
Oh my gosh.
So in March, I signed my first book deal with Penguin Random House.
Oh my God, I have chills. Wait, is this with Sarah?
No. Well, yes, through Sarah. Sarah Pasick, our mutual book agent. Because of you, I got my book agent, and their team is the most patient people in the world, because I just was so not ready to get things together. I think I've now known them for a year and a half. And so and the name of the house in Penguin is Harmony, who I signed with. So I have been working on my manuscript pretty nonstop since May. And I just turned in the first draft on Monday when I was leading a retreat in Colombia, South America.
Doing all of the things.
Yeah. So I've sort of been like hiding it, and not hiding it, but just keeping it really, really close to my chest. And I sort of told myself, I wanted to wait to share anything about it until I had completed the work.
That's so beautiful.
So my whole manuscript went in. It's going to be coming out in the spring of 2020. So it's still a ways away, but just the fact that the whole manuscript is turned in and will, I'm sure, have many revisions and many drafts, but like that's something that's been super close to my heart and my soul.
Insanely impressive that it's all written and done and out.
I'm out.
Does that feel incredible?
It feels incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh my gosh. Is it about Reiki or is it about your life or both?
It's everything. So what's interesting is I honestly can't believe we're talking about it.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so honored to like release this. Yes. This is so special. I had a feeling because I did see like stories of you with Sarah and exciting news.
Yes,
I was like, this is happening.
You're so key and perceptive. And it all happened really fast, which I think is actually the greatest way for it to happen. And we went in March to New York and I was going for other reasons. And I just happened to tell them I was going. And I had already turned in a book proposal, but I thought we were going to need to workshop it a lot. And suddenly they're like, okay, can you extend your trip for 2 days? We're going to have meeting. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
And the meeting started on a Monday, and App and I had gone into New York earlier. And this is just for anybody out there who is working on a project or is about to do a big project or something big or make a big move. I just want to say, I get it. And I completely self-sabotaged the weekend before. And it was winterish and it was snowing. And like App and I had gone out to dinner with his brother and our sister-in-law. And we ate and drank so much. And we went back to their hotel room and we drank more wine. And like at one point, I was so like drunk. At one point, I was smoking menthol cigarettes out of a vape pen.
Oh my God.
Crying, I think, at one point to like App's brother. I mean, it was a fucking disaster.
Oh my God. This is incredible.
And we walked out and it was like 3 a.m. It is a full on blizzard in New York. And I realized, like I had that moment where I realized what destruction I had done. And I told App, we have to walk back to the hotel because I just realized how drunk I was. And we walk back. I mean, again, I can't even believe I'm sharing all of this, but it's just like such truth that I want to share the power of our ridiculous egos that sabotage. And we're walking back in a blizzard. I can't see. And App's like guiding my arm. And I made him take me into like the park in front of us because I threw up in the park and woke up Saturday with like a sinus cold, more hungover than I've ever been. And by the way, and I like don't get drunk often at all. And so it was just, and then I was just like trying to cure all in bed all day Saturday. And finally Sunday, I started to feel better. And App was like, you want to go for a walk? And we went out and did some things. And I really had to come back. And I sat with myself for 2 hours in our hotel room and just like felt and wept and journaled and meditated and connected. And that was when I was like, wow, I'm so scared. And this is such a big, like, this was something I'd always sort of dreamed of and wanted and thought might happen, but never knew how or when or why. And it was just this almost beautiful, necessary ceremony with myself to see and be the witness to the sabotage and to the pain that I caused and created for myself because I was so scared, because I was so overwhelmed and excited and nervous and joyful, like all at once. And I wanted to deflate it, all the feelings. So instead of feeling them, I just like got fucked up. And I had the most, so I got to really cleanse it and clean it that day. I Reiki'd myself, everything, and gave it away. And then I had 3 days of the most insane, brilliant meetings for the book and I got several offers and they went back and forth several times, like this whole matrix of excitement.
So exciting.
And I got the most incredible deal with an amazing publisher and I'm so proud and excited and I can't wait to share the book.
I cannot wait to read it. That is an amazing story.
I mean, it's so tragic, but also...
No, I get it. When you care about something so much and when you've had a dream for your entire life, it is terrifying. And then when you get to the very edge of it's about to happen.
Precipice, yes.
It's so scary. It's almost like you just want to turn around and go back to what you're comfortable with. But you did it. You jumped off the ledge and it's happening.
I mean, painfully, I did.
Right.
Like it was not a beautiful, easy journey by any means. And I think that's actually why I wanted to share it is because I just want everyone to hear like the realness and the reality of working through fear.
I love it.
And working through like joyful shit coming and happening. And when you're in the present moment of it, it can feel so terrifying that you really have to know, not even know, you have to be willing to see yourself in it. Because if you don't, and you're not aware of your patterns and behaviors I wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't even like guilt or shaming myself. It was more just total awareness and acceptance. Like, wow, that is how excited I am.
Yeah.
And how terrified and scared I am that I did that because I was so scared and so excited all at the same time.
I so get it. What a gift to care about something so deeply and have it be a part of your life.
Yeah.
And you've been working so hard for so long doing what you love. You have so much to share with people. Like I said before we started recording, there is literally the Church of Kelsey that I would go to if I could. And I do. Like I get to just by being your friend. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm really honored, excited. I can't wait to share it. And it'll be out this spring. And the book is a little bit of everything. I honestly don't feel, a woman had asked me the other day who was part of the process, are you so excited to see your name on a book? And I was like, wow, no, I actually hadn't even thought of that. I said, because it doesn't even feel like it's mine. Like it's my, there's part of my story in there and tons of stories that are sort of mixed in. The book feels like it was completely channeled. Like there is, and every part of the book, the woman who was helping me write it, she actually got Reiki 1 certified.
Amazing.
With me before we began. Just, it was very like, not even intentional or like necessary. It just happened. So she and I, every time before we would write, we were Reikiing everything. So the whole book is going to be infused with Reiki and prayer so that even if somebody was to pick it up and they never read it, it's going to carry its own vibration of healing. So my intention is just for people to feel that sense of comfort and peace and connection with the book.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it going to be full of photos and like that kind of thing? Or it's mostly the written?
No, it's mostly all written.
Okay.
So the book is called Burning Bright.
Okay, that's literally your aura.
I
saw your aura
you
burning
did
bright.
see it.
Wow.
And the whole book is how to help people move and turn burnout into burning bright.
Oh, see, this is like your gift.
It's like
this is what
my
you're
passion.
teaching me. In the process have been teaching me for years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's really the whole premise of the book is it talks about, there's a lot of statistics. We did a lot of research because I wanted people to sort of like from the science perspective, understand that we are living in the age of anxiety.
We are.
And it's real. And we have to, in order to move through it and move with it, you have to accept and see. And I'm not saying surrender to it. I'm just saying you have to at least acknowledge how bombarded you may be and how physically taxed your mind and your body and your spirit can be. And it's really like a permission granter, I hope, for a lot of people, is to, without judgment or expectation on themselves or guilt, to just really be willing to see themselves in their fullness and their wholeness in this moment. And from there, it's like, then we move into how you can start to heal and love and tend to your gardens, right? And so the whole book is like, your imprints, the age of anxiety, your imprints, and all the things that you've picked up since you were young. And then talking about how to rekindle the connection with all of yourself. And then my favorite part is the original title of the book was Rock, Paper, Reiki, like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that's cute.
But it's meant to be about the triad of wholeness that I teach, which is body, mind, spirit. So rock is body, mind is paper, and then spirit is Reiki. And so it then goes into all of these teachings and practices, very simple, that people can do for each of those categories to come back to that place of wholeness.
That's so amazing. Everyone listening, pre-order this like the second that you can. It sounds like the exact tangible tips that people need. I don't think I know anyone who's not burnt out.
Same.
I'm so burnt out, and I spend so much time taking care of myself,
I know,
having boundaries, learning to say no. And every day I feel burnt out because, like you're saying, I mean, like the phone, this is the age of anxiety. We have everything right here. I went on a walk yesterday without my phone because I just got a new phone in the mail and it was doing its thing. It was updating or whatever, which took hours. So I left it here, went on a walk with my friend, went back to her house, and I didn't have my phone for like 3 or 4 hours for probably the first and only time in years.
How did it feel? Like right away, did you feel a little bit of anxiety being separated from it?
Well, I was going to meet her down on Bundy in Montana, and I just felt weird. Like, what if she doesn't come at the time she says she's going to come?
Yeah.
What if she can't find me? Did I tell her the right street names? I'm looking up at the street names, like questioning
Did I get it right?
if I'm in the right place, thinking like, I live here. Like, I know what streets these are.
Right.
But we're so used to being able to double and triple check and text someone, I'm here. Where are you? Or should I walk another block or something? So that was the only anxiety. And after that, I felt so free. And I was telling her, this is amazing. She's like, I do this all the time. You're the one who has your business on your phone and you feel like you have to answer people. I never bring my phone on a walk. And I just realized, like some people don't do what I do, which is it does cause burnout, which is hard to accept because we tell ourselves, like, I tell myself, I can handle it. It's all good. I like it. I'm doing what I love. No big deal.
And you try to trick yourself. And this is where I think it gets really fucked up is people try to convince themselves that they are other than what they're actually feeling and needing.
True.
Where it's like, I'm exhausted, but I have this whole day ahead of me. So I'm going to set intentions and today's going to be a great day and I feel good. And then like their teeth are gritting and they're like forcing themselves to feel good and feel something rather than saying, wow, I'm exhausted. I feel super depleted. And then to be able to really check in and be like, you know what? I am doing a lot. I had blank yesterday and blank the whole week before. Or maybe I was at a conference or maybe I was, with a lot of people, or maybe I've had my kids, or maybe I've had stuff going on with my family or whatever the thing may be. So it's not just about work. It can be like emotionally, people may be going through things and they don't even realize how much energy that takes. And it's not to refuse yourself those feelings and that energy. It's to say, wow, I want to be extra nurturing and extra loving and tender with myself and caring because I am going through a very big human experience right now. And I feel like we've lost this sense of like energetic being. And we've become so, and everybody knows this, we've become so hyper focused on doing and hyper focused on achieving. Like my two words that and I believe there is a time and place for them, but the two words that I believe are destructive in this time and this age are the words hustle and grind.
Oh, like I'm so glad you said that.
I think we need to completely like 180 and talk about rest and repair.
Yes.
And we're seeing it in the wellness industry where people are becoming like Dave Asprey has just created these companies where it's all about recovery.
Yes.
So we're seeing it in sort of the physical wellness trends of people talking about cryotherapy and, just all of these different programs that can help for rest and repair, for recovery. But we're not talking about it when it comes to mental well-being. And we're not talking about it sort of on like a soul level, right? There may be these sort of hybrids of things that people do like meditation and other things, but those are all great, but they're a practice that is happening for 20 minutes of your day, right? And we're not seeing how there's an opportunity to be connecting with yourself and not from a place of like, I need to do more and I need to connect more, of like having this depth of awareness of the space and the thoughts in the mind and the energy of your soul and your spirit and how much you're feeling the vibration of it leading you and loving you and guiding you. And people are pushing all those things down in a way, or like the mind is a great thing. It's a great tool to support us, but people are just getting too caught up in like efficiencies and hyper productivity and all this stuff. And I really want to be the voice that's on the other side. And hopefully people will find their in between, right? So mine might be completely the opposite, but it's because I think we are not even think, I know we are not giving people enough permission to really connect in this way.
I totally agree. And it's so healthy and good that you're giving people that permission, because I think of you when I need that permission. And I mean, living in LA, feeling like I should be doing everything. I should be saying yes to every event that sounds fun and cool. And then I don't go because I'm not feeling up to it. Then I see 100 pictures from there. And I don't feel like I've done the right thing.
And then you feel like you've missed out and there could have been
because
great
energy is such this energy of hustle, hustle, hustle that you see online and hear all the time. And it's also, I hear it from my own family, not my mom, but my dad, who I love. But it's in mentality of his generation. Hustle, it's tough.
It is tough.
So you giving that permission is so helpful, more than you even know. I think of it all the time.
And I have to do it for my own practices, by the way. Like I come to all this work and do all of this because I am naturally running on like fumes and I push myself too hard and I get anxious about not doing enough and missing out or becoming irrelevant or, like keeping up with what the fuck, who the fuck knows what, but it's just this energy of like, keep up. And then we have this, queen Beyonce that I adore and absolutely bow to. But also that is sort of what we are all looking at, or we put up these certain figures that we all aspire and desire and like sort of become energetically connected to. But that person's rhythm and that person's pace and that person's like life journey is not yours.
Totally.
So we can be inspired. And my goodness, I'm inspired by many people. We can be inspired, but it has to come with an energy of self-awareness. That might be my inspiration. But where am I right now? And what do I need for me right now to feel motivated? And sometimes in order to feel motivated, you need to lay in bed in your pajamas and be in your pajamas for a 24-hour cycle and love up on yourself and keep asking yourself, what do I feel like next? What's going to serve me in the most nourishing, delicious, aware and awake way? And you just keep sort of tuning into that. And so to me, it's like we can all get to those heightened achieving levels when we've met ourselves in the most basic of needs. And if you know that you're a naturally anxious person, which I know I am, I have to create these rituals, and they're not consistent because I love to be free and wild and I'm a Gemini, but I have to create these rituals and practices and these techniques and these moments with myself in order to not fall prey to this Speedy Gonzales that seems to be the rest of society.
Totally. So what are some of your best rituals?
So honestly, it's a daily morning check-in. So every morning I pretty much will never, unless I, have a 5 a.m. wake up call, which is very rare these days because I have turned my life around to not have those things that spark off an anxiety or am I going to sleep? Oh my God, I'm tired now. My mind will start to go. So the first would be every morning I Reiki myself. I tune into myself. I listen to I just sort of just observe my thoughts for a minute. And most of the time my thoughts are negative, where it's like, oh, I don't want to go and do this today. I feel and I read, when we were doing research for the book, I read this amazing statistic, which I think everyone needs to hear, that 80% of our thoughts are negative. And most of those thoughts are repetitive.
Oh my God.
Which is so annoying because it's like not only are our thoughts 80% negative, most of them are repeats.
Right.
Which means how boring.
Totally.
How absurd. So when I remember that, then I kind of laugh at my thoughts and say, come on, you can do better than that. Let's throw something new into the mix to just sort of try to spark new, I almost see it as new little bolts of light coming into my mind in the morning of what could it be today? Possibly. That's not negative. What could it possibly be? And then by the end of this practice, I'll usually do a 10-minute meditation to just open up my body and feel energy coming in. And then I always end with, I always say the word God, God, show me where you'll have me go, who you'll have me meet, what you'll have me say, and to whom you'll have me say it. It's sort of A Course in Miracles.
Yeah, I love it.
And then I just really tune in to also my needs that day. So it might be my intention for today is to love myself fully and to give myself permission to be present, because I often anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so even right now when I say that, I do a check-in with my body, with my breath. Are you really present, Kelsey? And you really give yourself permission to fully be here in your body, sitting on this chair with, Jordan in front of you, to feel it. Because I can very quickly get out of that space. Yeah. And then I'll maybe do a little bit of stretching. So that's a daily. And then honestly, throughout the day, nourishment is huge for me, food and giving myself space and time to nourish rather than rushing. And yeah, just a lot of permission granting. The minute my mind tells me that I have to do something, I challenge it because that's what gets me into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to this event. You have to
say,
you have to follow up with this, celebrity client. You have to blah, 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 blah. And so I really have to constantly keep giving myself permission to have choice because I've always done that. And that's what's gotten me really burnt out.
Yes. I'm learning so much. Oh, truly. I mean, the power of choice is so important. I mean, I personally feel so tied to the things that I say yes to.
Yeah. And we don't have to. Like you and I rescheduled this podcast because I messaged you at 11:30 at night on email and said, Jor, I'm back and home from Colombia. I feel drained. I feel like can we reschedule? And
I was happy. Mm-hmm. I was so happy because I was so tired too. And I was thinking, I knew that you were coming home from Colombia, and I was thinking, this energy within Kelsey is limitless. Wow, which is so inspiring to me. But I know that international travel is a lot. And you were hosting a retreat, which is a lot of your amazing energy going outward.
Yeah. And I honestly, if we hadn't rescheduled, I feel like I would have started to tip into, I wasn't in the red zone, but I think I would have started to tip into the red zone because I was in my pajamas yesterday until 3:30 with a picnic on my floor.
So nice.
And watching 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, and then I got up and I went and had a facial, and then I went to acupuncture, and then I went to Erewhon. So
then you got out of the red zone.
I got out. I literally changed it from being close to the red zone to I fully filled up and I got back into green.
Yeah, that's what's so important. That's what I'm learning is that you don't have to go all the way until there's nothing left.
Yep.
I call it, this is like a Lyme disease term, spoons. It's something if you have enough spoons to do this and you have, say, 10 spoons in a day or in a week. And I know that certain things like podcasting and events, it's going to take 8 spoons.
Yep.
So do I want to have 2 spoons left over? What else do I have to do that weekend or that day? So I'm always just counting my spoons. And
that's so wise though, because I think, and look, to be honest, I believe we all have that.
I think so too.
And we have a capacity, and I have my whole life, I have used up every spoon, and then I've borrowed spoons, and then I feel guilty about borrowing spoons, and then I'm in a fucking spiral of debt.
Negative spoons.
Yeah, I am in severe debt. Mm-hmm. And it's just, for me, my version of having it and dis-ease, right? The body not at ease, was physical pain. I would get insane back pain. That's how, that's how I got into Reiki and everything. But it was so debilitating that it would be to the point where I questioned if I could keep living. And that to me, and this is something I was going to ask you on my podcast, but I'm going to ask you right now because you know how excited I get about things.
I'm excited too.
Is how many times in the course of your journey with Lyme, how many times have you wanted to just give up?
Oh my God, so many times. I mean, every day would probably not be an exaggeration. I have days where I really do feel quite good. And in those days, I'm so grateful
that I didn't give
up. But was it last night? Last night when I was laying awake, sobbing in my bed with what I thought was a kidney stone. Now it's completely gone. I have no idea what kind of insane pain was happening in my pelvis. It was insane. Hemorrhoids, exhaustion, can't sleep, nausea, thinking about my life over the next several months, panicking about what if I don't feel healthy for my wedding. I'm sobbing in bed. Jonathan's asleep, but rubbing my stomach and just a saint. I was thinking, I love my life. I do, but I don't want to keep living if it's just going to keep being like this. So that's just the truth. I've barely ever said that, but I would say it to you and everybody listening. And it's important for people to know because I have a wonderful life with a wonderful family and everything a person could want except for their health. Mm-hmm. And health is so important. And when you're in so much pain and you just can't do what you love, I really can't exercise, which I love. I can't really teach. I can't really do a lot of things. or hardly anything, because 100% of the time, my body wants to be in bed. So anytime that I'm not, I'm just using basically negative spoons.
And so you all know, like Jordan and I both have tears streaming down our face. And so, I would actually ask all of your listeners who have been able to receive so much from you over the years, I would actually ask all of you to join me right now for the next couple of minutes, because I want Jordan to have this gift as she goes forward, whether or not it comes through once or it comes through 1,000 times for you. I want all of the listeners right now, if you're open to this with me, we are going to blast Jordan with love and healing energy. So I'm going to teach you all how to do it right now. And Jordan is just going to sit and receive.
I love it.
Okay, so everyone, whenever you're ready, and even if you're driving, you can do this. Just obviously be cautious and aware. But I'd like to ask everyone to just join me. Let's take some deep rounds of breath together. So inhale fully, fill up your belly. Exhale fully, open your mouth. Let the belly pull back. A few more times. So I'm turning on my Reiki now. Some of you may already feel it a little bit because it's infused with distance Reiki healing. So while you are also giving, you will also be receiving. So that's sort of a philosophy, is that sending love and the vibrations of Reiki and many forms of healing are also for those giving to be able to receive the life force energy as well. And as we just continue to breathe and soften our bodies and connect to the space of breath, I'd like to ask you to imagine now, behind your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand, to just imagine your own guides, teachers, masters, light beings, to place their energy right behind the palm of your hand. To almost imagine it now filling up with this light that they are sharing, creating, giving. And when you're ready, with one or both of your hands, you're just going to lift them up into the air a few inches in front of your heart, palms facing out. And just imagining now, right in front of you is Jordan. And you're just going to help. And you're going to let your guides help, just sending her, blasting her with healing, peaceful, loving, incredible, bright, divine energy now. And just breathe and allow your guides and masters to support and to send this healing through the back of your hands, through your palms, and out to Jordan Younger. Sending healing to her physical body, inside every organ, every muscle, bone, fiber, tendon, cell. Sending energy and healing to her heart for all the times that it has felt broken. Just filling it up with so much support and love and healing. Energy into her mind to begin this healing process, to continue, and to know that this is temporary and the healing is already happening. And lastly, to her soul, just connecting soul to soul, sending love to your fellow tribe member, your fellow priestess, sister. Incredible goddess. And when you're ready, bring your hands back. 3 snaps of the fingers. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just maybe shake the hands out to release and shift and close the energy. And allowing yourself to bring the hands to prayer to just close. Thank yourself, your guides, the teachers, the masters, Jordan for being open, yourself for being willing to share and support and give as you receive. Namaste.
Namaste. That was so beautiful.
Oh, how do you feel?
Good. I felt when you were Reikiing me, I felt the same way that I felt the first time you ever Reiki'd me at the event at the Den.
Oh my God, that was so
3
long
years
ago.
with
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Steph and you. When I felt like my head was like being lifted to the sky by like a string, and then feeling like I'm rocking and so supported and weightless, like the pain that I always feel like isn't really there.
Yeah.
Such calm, such love. It was beautiful.
Amazing. And this is now here for you always, to listen back to.
I know, that's the coolest thing.
That's what I wanted you to receive. Yeah. And also to all of you, thank you so much for joining in that and also allowing yourself to receive. So even if you listen back to it, you have given now. So now you can listen and receive it in the same way that Jordan was able to receive it, because it's infinite.
It is. That's so amazing. So a couple things. So one thing, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because ever since I've done plant medicine and gone on these ayahuasca journeys this year, I've seen energy in a different way. I can see it. So on a new level, I understand Reiki, although I've done my Reiki 1 with you and such an amazing experience. And I know the power of it because I know you. I see, like with the Reiki symbols, I can see energy, the things that we cannot see, this quantum field of energy. Yeah. So I wanted to tell you that, and also just ask you if you have that experience as well. I know you feel it so deeply. What does it look like to you, or what does it feel like?
So it's interesting. I feel like we're all very different in our experience with energy. So I don't necessarily see a lot. I feel. So when I draw the symbol, I like literally feel the whole energy of it coming through.
So cool.
Because I've always been a very kinetic person, because I was a dancer, and just that's my way of connecting, is the feeling of it. So when I use the symbols, I very much like feel the power of them coming through. Yeah. I know what you mean, like about the sort of quantum energy of it, because if I draw the power symbol in every part of a room, I suddenly feel the room have it. You guys can't see it, but I'm making all these literal like dance movements with my arms. That's how I connect to it. So I can walk into a space and I feel the energy.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And I've never, I've always wanted to see, but I just, I'm not really like, I'll see things in my meditations, but I'm not a huge visual person.
Yeah. I think everyone wants what they don't have.
Yeah, of course. It's like I have crazy, wild, curly hair. And
right.
I have always been envious of the girls who have just like straight hair.
Totally. The gifts that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, I was spending so much time trying to like be a psychic medium and all these things. So I thought those are such cool gifts.
Right.
But we all have
our gifts.
And you're so intuitive, the things that you pick up on.
Because I feel it.
Right. I will never forget the thousands of things that you've just picked up on and you'll just say it or like, you're hungry or you're tired. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah. It's just a feeling.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. It's something that like, I can't even try to understand it or control it or know it. It's just like my friends have a really great restaurant in downtown LA and they just got some like crazy press stuff going on from like one angry person, and it blew up and it's all over like these websites and stuff. So I was talking to them last night because I used to work in crisis PR, which now I realize why being a kinetic feeling person is very beneficial in that kind of a career. And so I was over the phone last night coaching them and knowing like what they need to say and how they need to say it to respond back to this one person who's trying to create this whole attack, in a very, very hurtful, harmful way. So it's even things like that, like just seeing things and being like, okay, I know how you need to write that. And again, it's not to say it's an ego, like I know and you don't. It's more of just such a gift.
Yeah, it's such a helpful thing.
And
you've helped me with that too. That makes so much sense. That was your previous life's work.
Totally.
So wild.
But I think I know we all have it.
Yeah.
It's just some people will have more. It's kind of all the clairs, like clairsentient, clairvoyant, all of those things. We're all a little bit of all of them, but we each sort of have one or two that are maybe more pronounced than others.
Totally. So cool.
So cool.
So tell us about your new podcast that I'm so excited about. You've needed a podcast forever. And I know people are already absolutely loving it.
Well, you're really, same thing with my book. Like you are very much the reason that I got into the podcast, because when we did our retreat together, and you remember the girls, when we did our fireside chat, and they were like, when are you going to start a podcast? And I was like, ah. Yeah. And then everybody, and you included, was like, no, but seriously.
Yeah, you need to.
I was so scared, again, like sabotaging, but also just not ready and honoring that. And now, if I would have done it before, I just don't think it would have been at the same place it is now. And I love doing it. I just recorded in Colombia when I was there. So basically the podcast is it's about a 30-minute podcast. It's really short. It comes out every Monday. And the intention is to almost have it be like a little mini, like, I don't want to call it therapy, but it's just like a little mini nugget of something, a word or an essence that I talk about for about 15 to 20 minutes. And just to get people's minds and souls and everything churning and opening up to the new week. And then it ends with a 10-minute distance Reiki healing meditation.
Amazing.
So it was really my way of offering something free and putting out something for everyone that's wanted to work with me or just wants to get started in some way and doesn't know how. I wanted to have this platform where everyone could get a distance Reiki healing from me. And not even just from me, but just sort of to feel the energy of that. People who've never meditated can use it as a way to start meditating. And then the beginning of it is really just sort of like a little nugget to take with you as you approach a new week. So you can read I'm amazed and so grateful. There's reviews on Apple from people,
so
and
nice.
You can kind of get a vibe for the podcast by reading those.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
So unique. I don't think, or in fact, I feel I know no one else is doing a podcast like that.
Yeah.
With the distance Reiki and a therapy-esque vibe. So helpful.
Thank you. It was important to me that I felt in my integrity that I was sharing something that, felt like it was empowering and that it was supportive for people to feel their most radiant, even if that means honoring that you're sick for a whole week or a whole year or whatever it may be.
Giving us support.
Yeah.
When we are sick,
having permission to be right where you are.
Totally. I love it.
I love you.
I love you. So what are you the most excited about right now? I know you're excited about the book.
The book, I'm very excited. I'm really excited about the book. And what else? I may do a little sort of spiritual entrepreneurial coaching this fall. I keep being shown like September to November. And I'm like, what? I don't even have anything done. But so I may end up doing like a 3-month program for people who really want to launch a business or have a desire to kind of make some type of a transition and move. Because as you and I have talked many times, that is also a passion of mine, is supporting people in making less effort and receiving more from this place where they're in flow with themselves and with their soul and with sort of spiritually conscious, guided life force energy.
Amazing. Well, that will be an incredible offering beyond. So everyone look out for that and tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes. Kelsey J. Patel is my Instagram and my website and my Facebook. And if any of you are interested in Reiki or are Reiki healers yourself, or just want to know more, I started a Facebook group called Reiki Healers Society. And anyone can join. You just have to answer a few questions and then you'll be in the group. And really, it's a way to help people find other practitioners. And also, you don't have to be a Reiki healer at all, but if people are looking for sort of like, oh, do you have a good healer in Toronto or in blah, blah, blah. So I get asked all the time for these names. And so I just wanted to put it all in one place for people to sort of share experiences and healers and other things together.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So cool. That's going to be really helpful for people listening.
Just because people ask me all the time and it's in these silos in DMs that no one else will ever see. And I figured we should just create a group where everybody can be connected and harmonize.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love you so much.
I love
this
you
was so
special
much. On so many levels. And there will be many more.
Love you guys.
Yay. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode with Kelsey. I mean, come on, like live distance Reiki. Can you get any better than that? I don't think so. So you got to check out her podcast, Magik Vibes. Listen to the episode that we did together on her podcast. I am so very honored to be her first ever podcast guest because she does a lot of solo episodes. Kind of the coolest thing ever. I feel very honored in all the ways. And if you've been listening since the beginning, which you probably have, if you're still here, I'm still seeing the number 33 everywhere. So there's angels all around. And please do, if this podcast has brought you value to your life, subscribe and leave a rating and review. And email that rating and review to me at jordan@thebalancedblonde.com so I can thank you and send you my yoga ebook for a free gift. Sign up for my newsletter, link in the show notes to learn about when my course is going to be live again and to just stay up to date. And I've been blogging like every day. So reading all the blog posts and learning about the crazy things I write about, like hemorrhoids and IBS and spiritual practices and Lyme disease and healthy recipes and all the fun stuff that puts together the TBB brand. Very special. So with that, definitely support Kelsey. She's amazing. Let us know if you want to come on another retreat of ours because it's going to happen when I start to feel better. And I love you all. I hope you all have a very soul on fire, magic vibe kind of day. And we'll talk really soon. Mwah.